Hello, my little sparkles. Welcome back to Roslyn Raves. And today I'm going to be raving about K-pop Demon Hunters. And what I'm going to be talking about in regard to Demon Hunters is the type of love in K-pop Demon Hunters. Since my channel is more focused on love, and as you're going to see, because I haven't actually released the video yet, is my channel is focused on not just about romance, since that's not the only type of love. I'm going to be focusing on more than just romance in and of itself. And you're going to see what I'm talking about in just a little bit. But I will be starting off with the romance. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about in this movie is the enemies to lovers trope. Rumi and Jinu are the enemies to lovers trope that we see, but I'm kind of hard on putting that trope because the way that they did it in the series, he immediately helped her. Then again, it was his plan to do it anyway, but I kind of digress. Anyway, they do fall technically into that category, and his goal with trying to help her out was trying to use her. And the difficulty that I have with, don't get me wrong, I do like this movie, and the difficulty that I have with it is, honestly, they did not have enough time. This movie has so much going for it, but they don't have enough time. One of the things that they don't have enough time for is to develop their romance. They have a lot going on with this, but they didn't have enough time to develop their romance. It had a lot of potential to go a lot further for enemies to lovers. Jinu did really great with helping her, luring her in with that really great trope. But my hard thing with, I didn't understand why Rumi even trusted him so much, because yes, she has like the scars and stuff, but at the end of the day, he's still a demon. And she's been with her friends her whole entire life, essentially, or at least a good portion of her life. She has like routines with them, she's built relationships with them, she's sung with them so many times to the point that she can fight with them, no questions asked. They know each other's routines, but she still trusts Jinu? I mean, I want to see that relationship develop. Give me a reason to also trust Jinu at the end of the day. They only talked for like a little bit on and off and met in secret a couple times. Give me more of a reason to trust Jinu besides the fact that she helped her in a fight, cover up that scar, have him be, I guess, a little mysterious, and then meeting a couple times. And him having a really cute tiger. I know looks are part of the whole attraction thing, but personally, I'm not attracted to that. I'm attracted to what a person does, what a person says, and all this and that. But, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, still, but yeah. I wish this movie had so much more time, even an extra 30 minutes. But anyway. And then I love, and enemies to lovers is my favorite trope. One of my favorite tropes. And so much more potential if it had more time. And on top of that, I would have loved to see a romance between the other characters that they were throwing in there, between the two boy bands. Like, who were the other ones? Like Zoe and Baby and Mystery, or whoever. I honestly think I would ship Zoe and Mystery more, because at the end of the movie, she was like, when she was able to see Mystery's eyes, she was like, "You're just my type," and stuff. And then with the barking that he did, I'm not sure who I would ship the last couple though, maybe I think Mira and Abby. I'm not sure why, but I get the feeling that Mira and Abby would be a good like pair, because they're both kind of confrontational in a sense. At least that was the vibe I was getting. That was the kind of vibe that I was getting. Not much from romance. He was just kind of there, but I don't know. Those are the kind of ships that I would put in there. But at least that's the romance love commentary that I have. And then moving on to friend love, because there is that friend love. The comments that I have for that I did touch on a little bit earlier. Now, Rumi, shouldn't she have felt like a sense of trust with her friends? Like I said earlier, she's been with them for, well, again, the movie didn't have enough time to really show or indicate how long she's been with them, but to an extent she knows how to fight with them. She knows like their moves and all this and that. So like, shouldn't she have a sense of trust? I was very confused on why she didn't tell them what was going on. I feel like to an extent they would listen. Otherwise, it always happens where there's a sense of betrayal. And it looks like they're in recent times, so shouldn't they have seen in movies how this always ends up happening? That's always a thing for me, though, where I don't understand, where there's always a lack of communication. Communication is always the worst thing. If you just tell someone, it fixes everything. It fixes everything. Or at least like show me how they would react if you had mentioned something, a hint of it, like, hey, this is what I think, what do you think? Or at least show me their negative reactions if she had tried it. But yeah, not even like an attempt of it at all. But yeah, it seemed like they were supportive friends. I mean, when they heard that her voice was gone, her friends immediately took her to see a doctor. Granted, the doctor wasn't the greatest, but they helped her immediately. They knew that something was off about her, so much they wanted to help her that they became confrontational. Again, not the greatest, but they wanted to help her so much. They felt frustrated with it. They want to help, but she's not saying anything. But I'm pretty sure if she said something, it would have helped, especially if she brought that one other character that helped raise them and train them to advocate for her. I understand, though, that they've also been raised in the mindset that demons are horrible. But again, talking could have helped with something, especially if it started way early on. But that's my point with the whole friend love. Talking about it, especially early on, would have helped with something, especially before it got to the point that it did. The other comment I have is in regards to family love. There was no comment on it. How does a hunter suddenly hook up with a demon and then another hunter is born? There's a lot of theories. I'm not gonna be able to touch on it. But she did have that previous hunter for Rumi who took care of her and raised her. I do understand that you're trying to protect someone you care about, and that's by hiding a lot about them. You don't want them to get hurt, so you try to protect them by having them hide. That does happen, that you try to shelter a child. You only did what you know, but it ended up hurting the child in the process. The other type of love that I saw a comment on in a separate video, and I'm surprised that I forgot about this type, and something I also hadn't seen anyone talk about, is the derpy tiger. Apparently it's the official name, I'm not sure, but I love him. I love the derpy tiger to death. I love derpy cats. And I kind of have one of my own. I'm not really sure, but I love him so much. But the Derpy Tiger, pets. Pet love is a wonderful, wonderful type of love. And something that the comment pointed out is, or the video also as well, is that the Derpy Tiger for Jinu was always there, that whenever he started to remember his family or just started to have deep thoughts, the Derpy Tiger was always there to knock him out of it. And if it was true that Jinu, I honestly didn't believe him when he said it, if it was true that Jinu was making the hat for the tiger, then he was making the hat like out of genuineness, and maybe he made the hats for the rest of the Saja boys, but that's adorable. But anyway, yeah. But pet love is also so good. They don't ask for anything in return, but we give it to them anyway, and they give us so much more. And the other, I'm just gonna freak out about him for a little bit. The Derpy Tiger. Normally tigers knock things over, but that tiger was like, I knocked over a basket. I need to pick it up. And he just tried to pick it up because he's such a cute little boy. Anyway, I need merch of that ASAP and assets for my VTuber model, by the way. If anyone can tell me where I can find that, I will love you forever. Anyway, and those are all the types of love that I've seen in this movie. Enemies to lovers trope, which they need more time because it could be so much better. And if we could see so many other possible ships, I would love it even more. The friend love, I wish so much more for that. Maybe a bit more backstory on the familial love, but there is a little bit of that in this movie with Rumi and the previous hunter. Good intentions, but just not what she could handle at the time. And she was called out for it. And the Derpy Tiger, pet love, just there. Probably also the bird too, but I can't really say. It was hard for me to read on the bird. But that's all the commentary that I have on that love. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it, for all the different love types? What's your favorite kind of trope? What other tropes did you see possibly in this movie? What are your thoughts on this movie? Personally, I think it was okay. Music, banging, love it. Love myself some K-pop. But otherwise, I'll see you sparkles next time. Bye bye.